Good morning. What a great day. My name is Kevin Steingruber. I'm the principal of Garden City High School. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone here today. Thank you to Mr. Albani and the orchestra/band for pomp and circumstance. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Gracie Kriwick, the Student Council President.
We have said the pledge every morning to start our day since kindergarten. So for the last time as a senior class, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't sit down yet. I'd like to introduce Mr. Mayo and the senior chorale to perform the national anthem.
Together
Okay, and at this point, the senior chorale will perform For Good from Wicked. Thank you very much. You guys can return to your seats. While they're walking back, again, welcome to everyone, and I'd like to welcome and honor our Central Administration and the Board of Education sitting on the dais behind me, joined also by next year's future Assistant Principal, Amanda Hauser. I'm also joined by Mr. Parada and Mr. Cohn and Ms. Stefankevich, our other Assistant Principals at the high school. We work together to put together this program and everything we do on a daily basis. Big thank you to them for making everything work, and we appreciate that. I think they had something to do with the weather today. Thank you very much for that. We lucked out earlier this week. It was very uncomfortable, and we're happy to be here. I see EMS, they're just on site. I don't think anything's going on. That's good. Thank you, EMS. Thank you, GCPD. They're always here with us. We work closely together. just on a daily basis to make sure everybody's safe and in a good place. So for today, I'd like to speak to you graduates about a message that I give you in your handbook and that I post it online every year. In your freshman year, my message to you was about onward and upward. In your sophomore year, it was always better. In junior year, it was be accountable, and this past year, it was be present. Next year, you won't be with us, but I'd like to read to you my letter titled Rejection is Redirection. We got the idea of this phrase earlier this year when one of our recent alumni visited the school to speak to you and speak about her own experience and give some advice to you. And she spoke about rejection is redirection. And that just because things don't always go our way doesn't mean it's the end. So here's my letter. At Garden City High School, we are proud to be known for our excellence in the classroom, on the field, on the stage, and in the way we give back to our community. That legacy did not happen by accident. It's the result of hard work, high standards, and a belief that we can always grow stronger together. But with success comes a choice. We can settle into comfort, or we can keep climbing. Here, we choose the climb. Whether you're working toward a personal goal, leading a club, competing for a title, or just trying to get better each day, the road will not always be smooth. There will be setbacks. You won't always get the part, the position, the grade, or the answer you wanted. And when that happens, I want you to remember something. Rejection is redirection. A no today doesn't mean never. It often means not yet or not here. Sometimes the closed door leads you to one that's wide open. That's not failure, that's progress. Redirection is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your breakthrough. So, take the risk, step up, speak out, try again, fail forward, keep showing up, and keep becoming. You are part of something bigger than yourself, a school that believes in purpose, persistence, and potential. And no matter where you are in your journey, we are proud to have you as part of the Trojan Nation. Thank you. Our next speaker is this year's Salutatorian, Hunter McGuire.
Dear Class of 2025, I'd like to begin by thanking Dr. Sinha and Central Administration, as well as Mr. Steingrubner and the high school administration for making this day possible for us. I'd also like to thank everyone here to support me today and every day. My parents, my sister, my grandparents, my aunt, and the many faculty, family members, and friends who've led me to this point. I couldn't have done it without you all. Finally, I want to honor a very special person not in the stands this morning, my amazing grandmother. Grandma, I know how much you look forward to this day. So today, I want to recognize the deep impact you've had on everything I do. I'll never stop missing our heart-to-hearts, TV marathons, and FaceTimes in this new chapter of my life, but you'll always be with me. In my silent thoughts, on my shoulder at every crossroads, and forever an integral part of my story. I want to focus in on stories today, the chapters, challenges, and cherished memories that shape us into the gifted, excellent, and nuanced individuals we all are. Now is a pivotal moment for each and every one of us. Graduation marks not just our transition from high school to college, but from childhood to adulthood, from the places of our roots to the people we hope to become. I'm sure you're all excited to meet new people and explore fresh surroundings. I sure am. But I think it's important to reflect on the time we spent together in the unique microcosm of the world that is Garden City High School. Maybe these last 4 years have been the best of your life. You'll stay connected with your classmates, reminisce fondly about this party, that teacher, and those 3 periods, or even build your own life someday in this community. Maybe you've been turning your wheels throughout high school, ready to spread your wings and seek out greener pastures than you found here. I'm sure at least a couple of you have been crossing days off the calendar, eager to grab your diplomas and leave it all behind. Where do I fall? Probably somewhere in between. But regardless of your position on the spectrum, these past 2 years, the challenges you've navigated during them, and hopefully the triumphs you've had along the way, are indelibly a part of your story. I urge you to take them with you into the future and embrace them. Tell those who enter your life about your history here and the lessons you gained from it. Draw on these years to help your kids if you choose to have them, but most of all, take the morning to simply remember it all. Remember the morning wake-ups, the late-night study sessions, the weekend practices, and the elation of acing a hard test. Remember your favorite English teacher, the girl who slept through second period math, the childhood friends you've grown apart from, and the lady who reminded you about your lunch debt as you ordered a school cookie. Remember the ninth period call conversations, if you know you know, the time you leaned too far over and fell with your desk onto the floor, and the day you realized, wow, I'm really not a kid anymore. Remember who you were when you entered this building, and the person you are now leaving it. Remember every scene, drama, relationship, and chapter that shaped you inside of these halls. We began high school at the end of the pandemic, but today, the masks are off, literally and figuratively. You've made it. Stay true to yourself in the future, and never forget how far you've come. I wish each and every one of you the very best of luck, and congratulations to us all.
Thank you, Hunter. At this point in the ceremony, we normally would have the senior class president present the class gift. Catherine Clavin, or known as Kitty to many, is not here today. Neither is Lou Cascadin. These two I'd like to honor. They made the call to service, and they've already been called to the Naval Academy in Annapolis earlier this week. So I'd like to honor them and all of the military for what they do for us. Katie was able to present the class gift at the Senior Scholarship Night on June 5th, and thank you to the class of 2025 for donating various digital media equipment that we'll use for years to come at the high school. Thank you. All right, at this time, our next speaker, who is the Julie Maloney Scholarship winner. This scholarship comes from the Garden City Scholarship Fund, $16,000 that he won through a very intensive application and interview process, and he will be speaking about a teacher today. So Sam, come on up.
Good morning, family, friends, and class of 2025. I want to thank the Garden City Scholarship Fund so much for the honor to speak here today. To wordlessly speak, to extend sound beyond one's sense, to sit in one's feelings, and to find a mere fulfillment in life, and to finally see a constant source alongside me may be the most beautiful part of this goodbye. A shameful discovery only to find once forever gone. Many times, the best things in life are left with a bittersweet farewell. Whether it be sheer luck or a destined story, the same elementary teacher that guided me reappeared as my middle school substitute and eventually became my permanent teacher in high school. As if I were physically holding on, I procrastinated saying goodbye to him for all my years in the Garden City School District. This teacher has watched me grow practically my entire life, and looking back, I realized that he became someone way more than just a teacher. Rewinding all the way back to my clueless 7-year-old self, I see Mr. Albani in the reflection, shaping and believing in the mature person I've become. Searching for my purpose in high school, third period orchestra class began to be the highlight of my day, a second home to me. A class brimming with energy where with the strike of the baton, chaos was transformed into art. Laughter always filled the room, as I remember one time Mr. Albani magically connecting the dots between the Spider-Verse and time signatures. Undeservingly, Mr. Albani always gave all of himself to every student, speaking phrases of abundant praise and boundless support. Time is an irreplaceable gift, and I was astonished by how generously Mr. Albani gave his. Whether in school or outside of school, he never hesitated to apply me to outside orchestras, summer programs, or colleges. One ask, and I would find myself in a private appointment with him as much as he's available. On top of our many sounds we've listened to together, I wouldn't have felt the grumble of our stomachs would be one of them. Mr. Albani sat with me yet through another lunch period, just to help me play a little bit better. At times, I felt he had more belief in me than I had in myself. When I got third seat at All-State, Mr. Albani questioned whether the first two were really better. When I got rejected from the Juilliard pre-college program, Mr. Albani simply said to me, "It's their loss." He was the one who always rooted for me, his encouragement never wavering. So on days when I lost all motivation to practice, feeling a passage over and over again, I would still push forward, because even if I wasn't going to do it for myself, I knew I could still do it for Mr. Albani. He taught me that music is more than just notes on a page. After maturing and looking beyond the first chair in the viola section, I realized all the greater joys and meaning music could bring. I deeply remember an old resident at a hospital breaking down after I played for him because he said I reminded him of his son who used to visit. I am brought back to the times where I was virtually communicating with my Cantonese-speaking grandmother through my music, her eyes filling with joy because she knew this was how I could tell her, "I love you." I look back on my mission trip to Guatemala when dozens of local kids would crowd around me and listen, their curious faces brightening to the never-heard-before sound of violin. Mr. Albani showed me that music, when given heart, is a superhero. Above all, Mr. Albani showed me how to go far with passion, because whether it was being a conductor, performer, educator, or father, he showed me what it meant to love your work and enjoy every moment of it. Because wow, that is the very meaning of purpose and fulfillment. To find a passion where you would go the ends of the world for, and to love every second of the journey. It is this very journey that makes life worth living. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for spending the journey of my last 10 years with me here in Garden City. Thank you for being the first face my younger self associated orchestra with. Thank you for being the kind, steady presence I naturally gravitated to. Thank you for being my motivation for my entire journey here in Garden City. Thank you so much for the passion of music you sparked in me, because I can't imagine my life without it. Thank you for inspiring in me a heart of vulnerability and empathy I will carry on forever. Thank you for being a reason why leaving Garden City will be so bittersweet. Thank you for believing in me so I would have the strength to believe in myself as I continue to pursue music for the rest of my life. Thank you for making the purpose of memories so precious. Thank you for helping me realize only now the power to treasure every moment going forward. I want to thank you so much for impacting my life that I will never forget, because like music, you are someone that I will never want to say farewell to. As our high school times come to an end, I look forward to a future where your legacy is limitless and where many more lucky students like me have the privilege to feel your impact. Thank you, Mr. Albani.
dismiss the orchestra, Mr. Albani, one more time. Thank you to them. We appreciate you being here and everything that you do. Scanning the crowd, I see the Clavens are here, and I know the Cascadens are here as well. Congratulations. I know you're proud. Thank you for being here. I'd now like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Kusum Sinha.
Good morning, members of the Board of Education, administrators, faculty, staff, parents, grandparents, family, friends of the class of 2025, and soon-to-be graduates. Welcome to this wonderful occasion. And before I share my message with you graduates, I would like to thank some people. To our high school administrators, our principal, Mr. Steingrubner, our assistant principals, Mr. Parada, Ms. Stefankevich, Mr. Cohen, and soon to be Ms. Amanda Hauser as our assistant principal. Your efforts have truly made today very, very special, so thank you. To Mr. Parada, as you prepare for your retirement after serving as our high school assistant principal for the past 21 years, know that your leadership and steady presence have made a lasting impact on our high school, our district, and our entire school community. You will be deeply missed. A sincere thank you to our high school custodial team and the buildings and grounds staff for their hard work and attention to every detail. Your dedication does not go unnoticed, so thank you. To our faculty and staff members who are retiring this year, thank you for the decades of service, care, and commitment you have given to our students and community. You've left a legacy that will endure. Thank you. And a special thank you to Mr. Janecko, our Board of Education Vice President, and Mr. O'Donoghue, our Board of Education Trustee, who are concluding their service on the Board of Education this year. Thank you for your time, care, and guiding our district through important work. We're grateful for all you've given, and you will be missed. Thank you. So, class of 2025, this is your day. And to begin, I'd like to share a quote that really captures something truly meaningful about today. This is from Dr. Seuss. To the world, you may be one person, but to the one person, you may be the world. So we're here to celebrate everything you worked for and all that lies ahead. We're proud of what we can see, your academics, your performances, your athleticism, your leadership. But what I want to reflect on something that's a little harder to measure, the impact of the people who helped shape who you are today. So last month, I attended the high school concert. The music was extraordinary, as it always is. But it was the moments in between that moved me to tears. 3 seniors spoke, not about grades or awards, but about a teacher. One said he gave her the confidence to perform. Another student shared how he helped her see that nerves mean you care. And the third student called him his mentor, a steady presence. That teacher, you just heard Sam talk about Mr. Albani. And while I share that those 3 voices, I hear stories like that all the time in our classrooms, on the sidelines, on the fields, at concerts, ceremonies, quiet conversations, and even in emails. Stories about a teacher who stayed after class to check in, a paraprofessional who noticed something felt off, a coach who believed in you before you believed in yourself, a staff member who greeted you every morning like you mattered, because you do. Relationships matter, and that's what lasts. So I ask you to carry the lessons with you. Value connections. Value those connections, especially the kind that come from the adults who guided you, supported you, and believed in you. As you leave Garden City High School, seek out those connections in your next chapter, college, workplace, service, or wherever life takes you. Be open, be curious, ask questions, introduce yourselves, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And just as importantly, stay connected to your roots, to the people who've been cheering you on from day one, your families, your parents, your guardians, your siblings, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, the ones who got you here, quietly and always with love. Check in on them, make the call, send a text, FaceTime, share the win. These gestures aren't small, they are everything. So go into the world with confidence, don't rush past people, slow down, stay close. Let the connections you build here in Garden City be your guide, and keep making new ones wherever you go. Because the measure of your success won't be in the titles or accomplishments. It will be in the relationships you nurture, the people you lift, and the ways you let others lift you. Go forward with courage and stay open, and stay connected to what matters most. Congratulations, class of 2025. We are so proud of you, we believe in you, and we will always be here, ready to welcome you home. I will miss you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. Our next speaker is your valedictorian, Jeffrey Lee.
Sorry, but give me a minute. Good morning, friends, family, teachers, administrators, faculty, fellow countrymen, and our very own graduating class of 2025. It's an honor to speak to you all, to the community that I've grown up in for my entire childhood. You've been nothing but the best, so thank you. For all of us, today marks the last of many things, the conclusion to our 4 years together, the last day we'll walk through the high school hallways that raised us, and of course, the last time Garden City will produce a class as funny, humble, and popular, and the list goes on, but I digress. Today, I hope to embark on one final shenanigan alongside you all, with the help of these paper airplanes. If you'll so kindly look under your seats, there will be nothing, because I did not have the time devastatingly to make 286 paper airplanes. Nevertheless, I'm sure you've made and seen these before in some form. Get a piece of printer paper, make a couple of folds, and hopefully don't launch it at the teacher. Still, I think there are some things we ought to learn from something as simple, silly even, as this, aside from hitting a teacher, of course. First, look at each of these planes. None is the same as the other, but they all fly. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Some glide further, while others can fly faster or hang in the air for longer. Each has its own niche, its own specialty where it shines. That also counts as flying, by the way. Just remember, you do not have to be standard in any way in the pursuit of your aspirations. Be great in being yourselves and never trade your spark for the status quo. Second, mistakes are fine. Sometimes they're great. Of course, that isn't to say that ripping a piece of paper entirely in half is the best course of action either. And though a misfold will leave a mark, it's the final fold that ultimately makes the cut. If you need to stumble 1,000 times on the rocky road to success, then so be it. Third, guess what? If it comes to it, you can always restart. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, to our lovely graduates, to you I say, do not let the possibility of a mistake deter you from the guarantee of opportunity. There is no in another life, so your dreams are yours and yours alone to sow. Thank you for everything we've lived through together, every shenanigan completed, and every memory made. It's been one hell of a ride, and I wouldn't have had any other way or with anybody else. Congratulations to the Garden City class of 2025.
We get to keep the airplanes. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, our final speaker of the day is our keynote speaker as voted on by the class of 2025. It's Garden City Social Studies teacher, Catherine Lindholm.
Good morning. I want to start by thanking all of our school community members, especially our parents and our family members. As a parent of teenagers myself, I know that it truly takes a village. And everyone here has been showing up, not just like today when everyone is looking their best, but for the last approximately 18 years, through all the bad days too. I want you to know that your support of this group has not gone unnoticed. As we all know, life is not always easy. Having someone with you along the way makes the hard times easier and the good times that much better. So thank you. You probably don't know this about me, but I'm a firm believer that perspective is everything. For me, gratitude is grounding. I'm grateful to be here as the keynote speaker of the class of 2025. I'm grateful to live and work in this wonderful community. No, Garden City is not perfect. No place is, just like no person is. However, our community values include diligence, integrity, cooperation, and perseverance. And I've never seen a community as inclusive and driven to give back to others as this one. These are wonderful values, and they're the reason why I moved my family here. Just like everyone, we want our children to achieve great things. But in Garden City, we also want them to learn and internalize these values along the way. The class of 2025 exemplifies these. I'm so grateful that I was able to get to know so many of you. As your teacher, as your class advisor, sophomore year, and as a member of our community. I'll never forget my first September at Garden City High School, 20 years ago now, meeting the infamous Coach Flatley and asking him about the game for the upcoming weekend. He said that he wasn't confident because the team was small that year. As the week went on, I saw each of the players giving up their lunchtime to watch film with him throughout the week. They won that game, as they won most of their games. I soon realized that our students here don't just play sports. They study their sport. They're successful because they put the work in. And it's not just the athletes, it's the culture of the entire school community. The artists, the musicians, the writers, the scientists, everyone. Student after student after student can be found putting in the work outside of class hours, honing their crafts and doing the right thing. Graduates, I've seen your diligence and your integrity. It has not gone unnoticed. Cooperation is not only one of Garden City's values, but one of the most important skills you can have in life. Unfortunately, our current society seems to be encouraging the exact opposite. I think it comes back to perspective. Every year in September, I show my students the TED Talk, The Danger of the Single Story, by novelist Chimamanda Adichie. It's a warning that if we hear only a single story about another person or country, especially if it's told over and over, we risk misunderstanding because almost everything and everyone has more than one version to their story. Similar to Ted Lasso's Dark Scene, it's a call to curiosity, right? In order to analyze or evaluate anything, you need to ask more questions. If you want to be able to work with someone, get to know them better, and figure out where the common ground is. I've watched this class be curious with each other. More than once, I found them hanging out in the hallway after school, asking each other's perspectives. Sometimes veering into a debate, but coming out with a deeper understanding of other people's opinions nonetheless. So as you go into your next phase and encounter new people in new places outside of the Garden City bubble that you need to learn how to cooperate with, remember to ask questions. Be curious. Last and perhaps most important is perseverance. You all came into the high school after a bit of crazy middle school experience with COVID. I remember having about half a year that sophomore year back in September of 2022. It was a bit of a rough start to being more serious about your academics. Many of you in the AP class told me that you did not feel ready or prepared to be in class. Your confidence was low. But just like those athletes 20 years ago, that did not stop you, and you put in the work. You have all learned how to take a college class, how to think critically, how to manage your time, and how to not spread yourselves too thin. Now you're in front of me, having earned more academic and extracurricular awards than any other class in my memory here. I've seen your perseverance. So yes, be excited and curious about what lies ahead. Know that you're supported by this community, and never lose sight of your values as you make the world a better place. You have shown that you can handle any curveball that gets thrown at you because you know how to be diligent. You have integrity. You know how to cooperate with others and how to persevere. So, our dear graduates, breathe. You've got this.
Thank you, Ms. Lindholm. Before we get to the introduction of the class of 2025, I'd like to recognize some of our retirees from Garden City this year. Our coordinator of social studies, Jeanette Belantic, English teacher, Diane Dolan, math teacher, Nancy Gallagher, and of course, I just found out today, Dave Parada is retiring. Dave, thank you for everything. From the bottom of my heart, my 16 years here are successful because of everything we've done together. And everybody here knows that this school runs smoothly because of you. And thanks for passing on the torch to us, and we'll keep things going, and we'll be in touch. So congratulations, and thank you to our retirees. I'd also like to recognize our board members that have completed their service with their own diplomas. So for Mr. Gnecco and Mr. O'Donoghue, congratulations. And now, I'd like to introduce Michael Tusiani-Eng and Sam Chan, members of the Senior Class Council, who will present the class of 2025. First row, please stand. Bring your yellow cards with you. And starting with Gracie and starting with Jeffrey, take your pictures on the wide side and then head on up to the podiums.
Jeffrey Lee.
Grace Felicity Craywick.
Hunter L. McGuire.
Haley Rose Boschnagel.
Dean Coletti.
Isabella Dania De Rosa.
Neil Joshua Durance Curtis.
Julia Elizabeth Pirelli.
Luke Xavier Lesor.
Ava Natalie Malone.
Brady S. Pasowitz.
Margaret Grace Narula.
Vincent Michael Abruzzi.
Savannah Newcomb.
Jacob Thomas Antoletti.
Hayden Louise Rogler.
Joseph A. Ardito.
Olivia Christina Sukas.
Christian Albuquerque Barbosa.
Angela Yu.
Soham Bera.
Devlin Elizabeth Abate.
Michael Joseph Bergery.
Mary Catherine Allen.
Sebastian Bonella.
Sophia Grace Amorati.
Thomas James Braun.
Ellie Kathleen Anderson.
Kenneth William Breglio.
Abigail L. Arneson.
Jason William Bremer.
Madeline S. Asaro.
Shay O'Neill Burns.
Ava Marone.
Evan Caesar Cabral.
Chloe L. Bennett.
Brian McKelvey Campbell.
Ava Moore Borzolari.
Ryan Jonathan Capello.
Isabella Bucciarelli.
Artemios Demetrios Karas.
Ashley Marie Buckman.
Blake Pace Cascaded.
Luciana Marie Caldera.
Vincent Chen.
Emma Grace Carey.
Jack Sission.
Maggie Elizabeth Carey.
Nicholas Stephen Klein.
Gianna Ciccone.
Philip Martin Connolly.
Juliana Marie Klein.
Terrence Francis Cook.
Sophia Canetta.
James Dario Costa. Kate Agnes Connolly. Eamon Patrick Donnie. Caitlin G. Connor. John Stefan de Albuquerque. Emily Julia Cook. Robert Del Richelieu. Caitlin Elizabeth Cook. William Duffield. Stella Sadie Coons. Dean Durkovic. Caroline Wanamaker Curley. Dylan Christopher Durso. Diana Loren Cusumano. William Charles Farquhar. Millicent Eva Del Richelieu. Luke Francis Feeney. Grace Dennis. Mateo Patricio Fortney. Gianna DeVito. Henry Joseph Gabrilavich. Lila Patrick Patricia Donovan. Julian Lawrence Galley. Brooke Elizabeth Escher. Bennett Robert Griffin. Emily Ann Eschman. Connor John Griffin. Daniela Lucia Fabrizi. Nicholas John Griffin. Ava Charlize Fangularo. Bowen Yu. Kyle Ann Fennell. Yvonne Hernandez. Gianna Marie Podera. Thomas Hong. Elena Frangioni. Matthew James Irwin. Caitlin Alexandra Gebhardt. Manat Vikramaditya Jain. Kira Margaret Gayward. William Thomas Jewell. Olivia Rose Giordano. Michael R. Kelly. Ava Teresa Necco. Ava is receiving her diploma from her dad, Mr. Arthur Necco, Board of Education Vice President. Brian Kenny. Emerson Grace Gottleman. Daniel Katab. Sophie Leslie Goldstein. Matthew Robert Nisi. Lila Grana Gormley. Anguston Cook. Amelia Adams Grazer. Alexander James Komorowski. Gretchen Rosemary Griffith. Philip Curzino. Arcangela Mary Rosaria Hafner. Andrew Lamb. Brooke Isabella Hopkins. Melvin Lamb. Ziu Wang. Benjamin Lau. Philomena Rose Imperiali. Ethan Law. Abigail Jesberger. Gavin Law. Mia N. Johnson. Grant Lemieux. Julia Marie Jovanovic. Leo Lakari. Isabel Rose Komorowski. Joseph Lippins. Catherine Lerda. Tyler Macri. Yuzhen Lin. J.P. Marr. Eva Teresa Lopiano. Eric James Marshall. Julia Lopiccolo. John Luigi Mazzella. Lindsay Kate Lachlan. Ryan Robert Mackley. Ava Marie Luss. Stephen McCardle. Megan Dempsey Lynch. Colin Ryan McDermott. Olivia Norma Macchio. Donald Joseph McDonough. Eva Mangal. Connor McHugh. Lilith Mangal. Daniel J. Magid. Anka Margulies. Thomas Cedric Malconian. Lauren Olivia Marino. Taylor Pasquale Manuda. Layla May Messina. Jake G. Moon. Sophia Mayan. Liam Moon. Madeline Elizabeth McCarthy. Matthew Morales. Riley Rose McNamara. Daniel Peter Mauricio. Julia Grace Melendez. Scott Thomas Nelson. Olivia Grace Milo. David Nicoyan. Chloe Grace Mirabella. Brian Richard Nolan. Juliana Colleen Mitchell. Gavin O'Donoghue. Gavin is receiving his diploma from his dad, Mr. William O'Donoghue, Board of Education. Madeline Summer Mitchell. Braden Christopher Olnick. Akron Hope Monaco. Carter James Olnick. Michaela June Morris. Carter Alexander Oxenham. Ava Ann Mullally. Logan Joseph Parker. Kelly Ann Mulvihill. Ashton Parisa. Morgan Violet Myers. Trey Paolo Lustars. Madeline Paige O'Brien. Brandon James Plunkett. Kira Ann O'Leary. Luca Gregory Profeta. Riley Aileen O'Sullivan. Timothy Patrick Krabilski. Alyssa Sarah Oates. Zachary D. Pugh. Olivia Obiama. Ian Puffy. Victoria Leigh Odo Adamale. Odo Manelli. James Rea. Simone Rebecca Ostencher. Joseph Rivera. Valentina Rose Haig. Evan Michael Rom. Regine Kira Fack. Logan Elijah Rust. Ella Violet Pocock. Patrick Joseph Wren. Grace Madison Power. Kieran T. Sack. Bryn Elizabeth Riley. Michael P. Sack. Emma D. Reyes. Owen Philip Sant'Antonio. Sophia Holland Ryan. Christopher Paul Sarkis. Anna Elizabeth Riffle. Ryan Michael Schwatner. Ava Christine Rodini. Jake Robert Schliff. Amelia Grace Rom. Robert Seals. Elizabeth Christine Rosado. Mateo James Scatino. Lily Rose. Connor Thomas Sheik. Julia Faye Rosenblatt. Gerard Joseph Schiraldi. Caitlin Ross. Matthew Thomas Scarlato. Elizabeth Ryan. Henry Richard Schnell. Rebecca Jane Ryan. Michael P. Sesente. Sophia Grace Sanita. Walker L. Stricka. Brianna Santo Pietro. Logan Maximus Seneca. Sage Scala. Patrick Henry Shirley. Harry Schneider. Daniel Shody. Lauren Marie Schneider. Luca Christian Saragusa. Juliana Ray Schnablo. Matthew James Sproul. Sophia Lola Schnablo. Mark Leo Stamidas. Julia Solomazian. Juan Stanek. Ava Elizabeth Safety. Leo Lei Su. Sonia Shi. William Raymond Sweeney. Julianne Estella Smith. Drake Tom. Maeve Smith. Mark Joseph Tossi. Elizabeth Staub. James Trocchio. Eliana Steer. Patrick John Van Lennis. Maria Isabella Musinski. Miles Jacob Watson. Eva Rosalia Vitale. Luke Ethan Weber. Julia Wang. Connor Walbrock. Glover Sky Whitley. Broderick Matthew Whalen. Charlotte Williams. Justin Anthony Terrence Woodbine. Ella Julianne Williams. William Parker Wrightington. Amy Hong Xiao. Declan Walter Gupta. Lin Yang. Owen Peter Gupta. Rachel Young. Joseph Zena. Alicia Jaja Zhang. Zachary Zander. John Highland Sutcliffe. Ryan Aguero. Connor Daniel Fitzgerald. Christian Sylvester Agrippina.
Michael Roger Giuliani. Samuel Z. Chan.
Well done. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to confer your diplomas. Class of 2025, please stand. By the power vested in me by the Board of Education and the State of New York, I hereby confer these high school diplomas upon the Garden City High School class of 2025. That's it. Congratulations.